Right, moving on now, we're going to go pure into Oscar territory now. So this is one of the big Oscar baiting movies that I've been seeing everywhere. Green Book. I'm going to throw it over to Elenia. You saw this.
Okay, so it's based on real people, and sort of the Green Book is based on a book called sort of like the Motorist Guide Green Book, and it's a book that is supposed to help African Americans during the 50s and 60s, during segregation, navigate their way around America to find hotels and restaurants and motels that will welcome them, or they will feel safe there.
Okay, no idea.
And Dr. Don Shirley is a world-class African American pianist, and he's about to go on a tour of the Deep South in 1962. So
risky.
Very risky. So he employs Tony Lip, a tough bouncer from Italian-American neighborhood in the Bronx, whose reputation precedes him a little bit as like a very, very tough, like talks to talk. And he hires him as his driver and protection, basically, as he goes on this tour. And it's a very unlikely team up, but their friendship that develops over this film is absolutely fantastic. So it starts with a very quick introduction to Tony Lip, who's played by Viggo Mortensen. And you see all of his beliefs, how he thinks. He's a very simple man. He's a bit ignorant, but that's the kind of the flavour of the time. He's not a bad person. He's definitely ignorant rather than having any disdain for people of colour and African Americans. But he's also very intelligent and a bit of a manipulator. He calls himself like a world-class bullshitter. And he can get people to work in his favour. Manipulation. Yeah. It's like it's just hilarious. Like there are those scenes where.
So is it supposed to be like? Does he have some? Is it a comedy?
It's a comedy drama.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the two people are real. Tony Lip and Dr. Don Shirley are real people. It's a real thing that they actually went on a tour in the Deep South together. It's directed by Peter Farrelly, who was like also the co-writer. Him and his brother did things like Shallow Hal. There's something about Mary, Dumb and Dumber.
Shallow Hal, that takes some practice.
I know, right? But they did all of these comedies, and now he's brought that comedy writing into a drama, and it works. Their relationship over the film is unbelievable, and like they have they don't really understand each other to begin with, and there's a lot of kind of like they're two different worlds, like so. Dr. Don Shirley is played by Mashallah Ali, and he is fantastic as well.
Always is.
And he has prejudices on Tony, and Tony has prejudices on him. It's kind of like you're black and you don't like fried chicken, and you don't listen to blues music, and it's like, oh, he gets a lot of racist remarks from the people that he's supposed to be performing for. He's like, when I'm on stage, I'm their entertainment. I make them feel cultured. But when I'm done, I'm just back to being the black guy. Like, obviously, they use a lot of the N-word in this movie. it's very much like a Quentin Tarantino. And then there's a lot of really touching scenes between them. Like, so there's a point where the doctor thinks that Tony's going to leave, and he gets really sad, and he's like, I'll pay you double, you can be my road manager. And Tony's like, I was never going to leave, we had an agreement, I'm going to tell those guys I'm not going to work for them. And the relief that washes over him when he finds out he's not going to leave, and there's just these hilarious moments. There's like a bit where, in his contract he has to play a certain type of piano. Okay. And there's a guy in one of the places, he's like, oh, it's got trash all over it, and Viggo Mortensen goes up to him and he's like, there's trash all over this.
It's not a grand piano from
This
Ivory
isn't a Steinway. And he's like, what are you going to do about it? Just smacks him across the ear, and then the next scene is like, Steinway grand piano. It's like...
I'm the best.
There was bits where I was laughing my head off, and then there were bits where I was so close to tears.
So what's the critical rating on this at the moment?
I think it was about 80%. Okay. And I think it's definitely worth the nomination. So it's got 5 nominations at the moment: Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting,
not as good as Black Panther,
Best Original Screenplay, and Best Editing. It's already got a Golden Globe for Best Picture and Best Film of 2018 for the National Board of Review. And you can see why, because there's a beautiful development to their relationship. And, they start influencing each other. They start to understand each other more, because, he's like, I'm not black enough to be with my own people. I'm not white enough to be with these people.
And complement each other.
Yeah, and he compares Tony to other white people. And Tony's like, I'm I'm more black than you. I'm from the Bronx. Like I have to build myself up, and they start to understand each other, and they start to understand the world. They do, and then it's like, you know, the doctor is helping Tony to become a bit more refined in some ways. He's like helping him write.
How to use a knife, like those. How to eat formal dinner.
No, even so. Like I've never seen anyone eat as much as Viggo Mortensen in this movie, by the way. But he, like, you know, introduces Doctor to fried chicken, and then like he's helping him be more. So he's writing letters to his wife, and he's like, write this down, Dear Dolores, Dear. It's so beautiful. It's so funny.
So what about anything on the negative side of things?
I really don't have anything.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I really don't. It's a really good representation of the time, because not only does it have all of the scenes in the South, but it compares it to the stuff in the North. So when they're coming back, they get stopped by the police twice in the movie, and the disparity between those two scenes is hilarious, It's a really, really good commentary on that. And even then, they like have a knowing look between each other, and they're like, oh God, you know, remember last time.
I think drama comedy is a very good mix. It's like Black Klansman, similar. It's like dramatic, but also had fair bits of comedy, just to lighten up the situation. And,
so I'm glad that both of these movies have been nominated. And it's like, there's some beautiful lines in it as well. The writing is fantastic. It's like the world's full of lonely people waiting to make the first move, and genius is not enough. It takes courage to change people's hearts. It is absolutely beautiful.
I got a feeling it's going to get a high mark on the 5 scale, right? So let's wrap this up.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Dang!
I love it. You know what? I watched it this week. I would watch it again. I would watch it again today.
I don't think we've ever had a 5 out of 5, only because we've been doing this rating since like last week. So
I mean, like some people will give it lower because I think it takes a little bit of creative freedom with historical.
I think you need to always.
You do need to. If you're
no one's
doing
life is so interesting. You can copy 100% of it, and like it'll be entertaining throughout. So.
And like some of the lines are hilarious as well. Like they go into a black bar right at the end, like a blues bar, and the girl looks at Viggo Mortensen because he's the only white guy there. It's like, you a cop? And he goes, do I look Irish? And his Italian American accent is brilliant as well.
So awesome, 5 out of 5. So
awesome,
definitely must watch.
Watch it. Like I will watch it again today. I watched it
yesterday.
I love it.
Great.
Definitely.
So great to see some worthwhile Oscar nominations. And sometimes, like Bohemian Rhapsody gets his rep. Apparently, it's not that good.
Yeah.
But it's Oscar nominations. But definitely check it out. And awesome.
Another like really powerful moment. So they have to stop, and the car sort of breaks down, and they're next to a field, and there's a lot of like African American people working in the field, and they see another guy, a black guy, being driven by a white guy. Yeah, it's like the disparity. And just the look on their faces. Yeah. It's just like, wow, like maybe the world can change. Yeah. Awesome. Seems like a great film, and I'll definitely probably check it out. Yeah. Right, moving on.